First things first, I want to thank you all for sharing this time with us. Officially, for the record, is The Shadow of White City Season 3, Episode 4. Yesterday, I was lucky. Unlike usual, when we did in Easy Red, we opened with a caravan of cars, of vehicles, specifically considerably less than full caravan. There are only two. There's a black on black Maybach sedan speeding along the Midwestern back roads, purposefully avoiding 93 or even 35 to get into Wisconsin and avoiding all of the other major thoroughfares, taking a circuit between Chicago and Milwaukee. In that caravan, the only other vehicle in that caravan, a
1994 Chevy Capri. Police issue.
And a redhead who's missing his Viper.
Looking to all the world exactly what it is, a law enforcement vehicle. Whether officially law enforcement, i.e. police, private as anyone's guess, at least until the lights come on, or anyone is paying careful enough attention to realize that it does not have the light array that most would. However, for all of their speed and haste and attempts to avoid all due notice, this caravan of night has come to the attention of someone who initiated a loose tail, a loose counter convoy, a band of marauders determined to trail, harass, and annoy without being visible. Having come to the caravan's attention, maneuvers were made, and the bulk of the trailers, road warriors, road jackers have been removed. Though, as Frost noted out of the window due to Rob's careful and consistent awareness of his environment and the life of the road, they are aware that further back there are two unchanging, unflickering lights of vehicles trailing from a distance sufficiently far enough back where visibility should not be possible for humans, and not possible for most kindred. Yet there they are, trailing from a distance, unwavering in their shadow.
Would it be wrong to just drop a grenade out the window?
Yes. It would be wrong to drop a grenade out the window.
Yeah.
Just keep us between them and Dia's car. And if they make an aggressive move, we'll figure something out.
So, do we have like a radio thing between cars or no?
Cell phones.
Well, yeah, but radio's safer. Like, walkie-talkies from one car to the other.
Yeah, all of that would be safer, but none of us managed to put that shit together. We need to get a tech monkey on our group. Because right now we are...
Cell phone invisibility. All right. Now, has any other member been in Milwaukee, Wisconsin?
No.
What was this? What was the city we hailed from again? Me and Seth.
Say what?
You know, Dalton is where we're based, but yeah, Dia's been to Milwaukee multiple times, obviously.
Alrighty.
Seth has not been to Milwaukee. Frost, maybe. Rob, don't know. But I've got all
Frost,
the...
definitely. Remember, he travels for his work.
Yeah, I've got all the meat in my car. Dia's got all the skill and charisma in her car.
Okay. Well, let's just say the trip from Chicago to Milwaukee is fraught with its own tensions. Instead of it taking the standard roughly 2 hours to get there, you guys get there in just over 3. Having taken the most circuitous route possible and avoiding as much notice as due. Now, Dia, as the point person for the group, the only remaining member of the original diplomatic mission, what is the course of action moving forth?
First, I need to stop and get a gift for the person I snubbed before. Something expensive. I'm gonna look for somewhere like open late night, like a small boutique or something that would have something expensive. I don't know, like a pen or like a nice bauble, something that I know would be like a "I'm sorry for missing your party" type of situation. And then we're going to need a base of operations. We'll probably pick a nondescript hotel. Definitely nothing fancy, as much as it pains me say that. Nothing fancy, but somewhere we can get in and get out of, and probably well secured and defend should that become a need. And then from there, we're going to try and attempt to make contact with the prince, so that it's not a "hey, we're just here." It's more of a "we need to talk, we're back in town, we won't stay long, but I need to give you this information so that I can keep it pushing," sort of thing.
Okay. In regards to their logics, I do need you and Zach to roll a resolve plus subterfuge, please. Your target number is your willpower. Your individual willpowers.
This does not bode well.
Oh, but it does and it does not. So you all circle through the outlying areas, the suburbs of Milwaukee, while you direct Secundus towards various places, various out of the way but easily accessible places, various motor inns and smaller hotels. As you pass each in not rapid succession, but fairly quickly, they are each ruled out as completely and totally beyond anything you can force yourself to stay within. They are functional, perfunctory. They provide all of the means of access and egress and are off the beaten path, but the mere thought of walking inside those offices, those cramped spaces of banal humanity that has the absolute stylings of a punch-drunk mad cockroach, you cannot force yourself to even exit the car. Secundus breaks out in actual full-on hives at the roadway inn. Zach?
So basically, Seth is completely confused why they're not acceptable.
Yes, you and Rob and Frost are following behind as they go from hotel to motel to hotel, each meeting the qualifications and needs of being accessible, out of the way, and easily someplace you can disappear to. And at each one, there's a clear conversation, though silent, but very, very visible inside each of the cars, ranging from "this does what we need, but it's not what we can tolerate," And at one with Segunda's literally breaking out eyes in his please.
Those roses better make a decision pretty quick, or we're just gonna fucking camp out in the cars.
What about like a La Quinta or Marion?
That was the first two that you've all visited. In the course of the travail, you have not found one that meets the basic factors of your need. The calls of your blood are strong enough where it is not something that you can do. You cannot force yourself to swallow down the indignity.
Seth jumps on the cell phone and says, "Hey Dia, how about those executive suite rent by the week joints near the airport?"
Or we can boondock.
No. Just those suites, they have multiple rooms, they got a kitchen, they have stuff. I mean, it isn't just 2 beds and a TV.
Yeah, but if we're not finding a place, boondocking's fine.
The response is stated through very tight teeth. As long as I don't have to look at the place, fine. You can be in charge of finding something.
Seth looks on Siri and looks for an executive suite rent by the week, executive hotel as opposed to Motel 6 La Quinta kind of deal.
Okay. And while you bring up Siri and she's listing off several addresses, several different where you all are, that meets the prerequisite. There is address that's tossed off for excuse me. 411 East Mason Street.
Okay.
What do we got there?
Hotel Metro.
Does it have a star rating, Yelp reviews, anything that I can go off of that I can sell this to Dia with?
It is a 5-star luxury hotel with extended stay options.
Don't worry, I can afford it.
You better be able to afford it, because if I have to pay for this, I'm not going to be able to pay you.
Mm-hmm.
I forward the information to Dia.
I was just saying that if you could afford it.
I basically shoot Dia pictures of the hotel rooms, the suites section, not the standard hotel rooms, the ones that have kitchens in them, and multiple bedrooms.
They get a response back with a thumbs up, and I'll book it. And Dia books it on their credit card.
Would you be so kind as to go ahead and roll your Resolve plus resources for me, please? Welcome back, Zach.
Sorry about that. Let me make the roll. Okay, so resolve plus subterfuge, right?
Yes. Target number is your willpower dots.
Oh boy.
And Dia, yours is your Resolve plus resource. Oh, you respond just as poorly as Dia along the way. You all visit several outcropping hotels that meet the specifications of your stay. One causes you to vomit in your mouth, even with an empty stomach. It is a La Quinta. The next is the Econo Lodge, and then there's a roadway in, and it finally is settled that Frost has found a location that works for you all, works for everybody. It is the Hotel Metro. It's just off the beaten path, downtown Milwaukee, but it has nearly every amenity that will make you all feel as if you were almost at home, including a very antiquated computer system and network, because it is a singular hotel. They offer personal buttons. They are, without a shadow of a doubt, even their extended stay options are literally beyond normal, expected of any hotel in the area. There's one hotel better in the entirety of Milwaukee. And as such, after several long conversations
questions real quick. How much tech points would I need to suggest to the party that we should use walkie-talkies instead of our cell phones?
No one really has tech points. It's literally...
Well, I have 1 point in tech.
Yeah, that's operation understanding, and with you all having to rely on cellular signal, i.e. calling, texting, and live chatting each person in the party, where would that place you? Where would you feel that is in terms of proper communication, considering you all are in two different vehicles?
Zach has 1 point in technology as well.
Well, that's how truckers work, and also bounty hunters, they walkie-talkie each other over when they're working with a partner, and that's probably how Frost did it when he was a normal human.
All things being equal, was he ever really a normal human?
I'll take that as a no.
Are you really ever that normal if you hunt humans for a living?
No, not at all. Not usually. There's a certain antiquated ideal that man is merely the leader of his fellow animals instead of an echelon above. There's an idea that the cruelest of animals is in fact humankind and can and should be hunted as per.
Yes, Maze. Sorry.
I had to do it, I'm sorry.
With that being the case, and Dia finally ending the call for your hotel stay, instead of receiving that she wished, which was the entirety of the top floor, due to their bookings, due to their antiquated systems, and due to a certain raised nose elitism by the fact that Dia called herself, and several moments more of, but of course, and as you wish, I'm sure that we can accommodate. While it is, as always, as all of our suites, the best, it may not be what you wish. Sometimes the best that you can have is the best that there is. You all...
Frost whispers to Seth, "This place is pompous as hell."
It'll keep them happy and it'll keep us entertained.
I guess so.
Zach raises his fingers and asks if smoking's allowed in the hotel.
But of course not. We have a lounge for such activities.
Well, now, you have my thanks. I will peruse. If anybody has need of me, do call. And he kind of starts walking around and checking the place out.
Excuse me. Sir, before you take in our views, it's imperative that we have all parties registered because we do have a dress code of sorts.
Oh my. And he steps back to where he was before. And kind of listens.
When in the public areas of the establishment, it is expected that each of us will be on our best behaviors. Those not properly accompanied by their room key will be asked to remove themselves from the premises. We, of course, demand an equal expectation of privacy to each and every one of our guests. Your stay here is, of course, appreciated, and we expect to deliver the most exemplary service possible. If there's so much as any need you might have, feel free to contact either the front desk or any of our staff members. You'll notice that we each have affixed name placards. Are there any questions as to any amenities you may need at this moment?
I think we're a pretty self-sufficient group. We'll need 2 rooms, 2 suites.
Of course. Miss White has chosen a selection of suites for your party, and Mr. Chesterfield here shall escort you to your domiciles. We hope that you enjoy your stay here at the Autograph. He inclines his head, and when he does, he inclines his head in a bow, and when he does, he snaps his heels together. It is a bit disconcerting as that style of bow has not been in public, polite circulation quite some few many years. And
The vamp place?
the moment that he does and rises, Chesterfield is there. Now, Chesterfield is a gentleman in his mid to late 50s. His hair smoothed back with actual shellac. His suit is actually a tails tux of gray and pinstriped black. If you'll accompany me, sirs and madams.
Frost has to hold back from laughing at this dude.
He moves with you all across the floor. The expectation that you all will be in tow and accompaniment. When you reach the elevators, it is the second oldest elevator in Milwaukee. It is also the first largest for public commute. It is large enough to tolerate the entirety of your party in one fell swoop, with more than enough space for others to join, should they wish. There is an actual bellman we were established with 19 as escape the drudgery of their lives. In the intervening years and the Depression, the management and ownership changed hands. In that change, the Autograph was open to the public at large, and the gentleman's gentlemen had chosen to take paid vacations from their masters. During the roaring 20s, we often feted local celebrities and gangsters, those involved in the illicit trade of alcohol across this great nation. During that time, several areas of the Autograph had been selected for public consumption of the illicit. We are also the oldest house of ill repute in all of Milwaukee, as those in need should have every service they wish. fact, our madam currently is a Miss Magdalene Pryor, and she is if you were to dial main desk, ask for option 0, and a attendant will reach your suite to offer the selection of services available under that particular menu. Yes, and here we are, floor 13. And he steps out, leading the way with a
Wait. Someone tells me we're supposed to have level 13.
Superstition is not one of the services we offer, sir.
Yeah, I'm fine with it. 13 is my lucky number.
I'm sure that it is. Yeah, but this is an actual key ring. And begins unlocking each of the doors as you walk past. This is an offering for single gentlemen. This is for those who are a good deal more discerning. And this is your group meeting area. And this is for the ladies of the group. And this, he says, offering the key to Dia. You're set, and he removes from his upper pocket several golden key cards and offers them to each of you. And these are to announce your presence as paying guest here at the Aldergrad. Aside from privacy in the moment, are there any bags or parcels we can retrieve for you?
Nah, I got my bag on me.
Right.
Gia pulls to the side. Ignore them, mind you. I am in need of a gift for a host of a party that I have to go to later, and would like something nice. Not too expensive, but expensive enough. Where would I get such a thing?
Madam, that entirely depends on whether price is an option.
I'd like to keep it under 300.
Yes, I see. Something for a distant associate, clearly. When purchasing gifts for an enemy, it is often best, I find, to include things they will have to view, but never the option to use. Perhaps a journal. Or perhaps a pocket watch. Cufflinks are always nice, and I understand that lowbrow cufflinks are all rage these days. Unless, of course, they are involved in the haberdashery pursuits. Then we do have such a shop available for your use on the first floor beyond Ivory.
When they say haberdashery, Dia's eyes light up because they get this thought in their head of like this most atrocious, gaudy, expensive, but almost unwearable hat, and it makes them smile. That, indeed, I think haberdashery.
Would you like me to announce your arrival?
Yes. The rest of you get comfortable. I have to go get this gift. And she walks the butler guy back out.
Hey, can I see if this guy's breathing or not?
What do you mean?
Like, I want to see if he's like breathing, if he's a vamp or not.
Breathing is no test if you judge by Seth.
Well, yeah, but if they're not breathing, then that's a telltale sign. If they are breathing, they may or may not.
There is no way to tell by breathing. There are many kindred such as Seth do, in fact. So,
Well, yeah, but there are kindred who don't breathe, and a person who doesn't.
None that you've met outside of Dia. Rousing evening and seeming human. Kindred do for the evening.
What's a telltale sign then? What's a sign that I could be aware to?
Being attacked by things with fangs.
But those are retractable, aren't they? Or something.
They're disguisable, yes. It's not an easy thing to see unless, of course, they're coming at you, fangs, beard, and preparing to rip your life from you. It is not an easy feat to discern predators who are designed to hide amongst the flock, in other words, especially for someone who can't see into that.
Oh, I know a way I could discern aspects, sense the unseen.
You're gonna stab him?
Huh?
You're gonna walk around with a hat pin and begin stabbing people, make sure that they bleed freely.
No, aspects. Sense the unseen.
I am aware of that, but that's not something that Frost has to do. Right?
Yes, he does. No, he does. That's the one thing he has, sense the unseen.
Oh, look at that. He is a very brave and foolish man.
Why? Why? I just want to know who my enemies are.
Oh, experience is the best teacher. And as Dia disappears, leaving Frost, Seth, and Zach alone in the suite, is there any conversation taking place? Is there any planning for what lays ahead? Or based on her Dia are prepared to not only another gaggle of sensates and healers, but you are also preparing to be the prince of the city, taking that higher echelon to the higher echelon. You are about to go into the powerful order of
That was just groveling in the corner, trying to keep his suit clean.
Frost checks to make sure he's loaded.
And Zach is looking at his phone and looking up different gift shops he might be able to stop by while he's here. Well, after business is taken care of, obviously.
And it's interesting indeed, because with Chesterfield having spoken Dia to the side, it is clear that Dia, having stated that they will be right back, is headed off to purchase just that, a gift. Would Zach trail after them, or would Zach continue looking at the phone?
Now he kind of gets the idea to maybe tag along. So he exits and tries to figure out which direction they headed in. So he can kind of ask and not just automatically invite himself.
Okay. Dia, as you and Chesterfield make your way to the elevator, Zach appears out of the suite door following behind you.
And as Zach approaches, he asks, Well now, if you're going to peruse, I might ask that I might perhaps accompany you?
Seems that we're having a few technical issues. Needless to say, let's say Zach and Dia are taking lobby space, private areas of the establishment, just in case you were stopped and asked.
Zach did, in fact, grab his key card, and he has it in his pocket.
I was like looking at it, like to see if it has my room number on it.
Not in any language that you might recognize. There are several inscriptions along the back side of the card, and you only know that it's the back side of the card because around that very small script is what appears to be a magnetic swipe card, swipe portion, a swipe strip, but it is clearly not. There's no normal scratches and the typical abrasions of a swipe card going in and out of locks, but that's what the closest approximation to what that could be or should be.
I slapped Seth on the arm. Hey, do you know if it says anything? I might be rich, but I don't hang out with fancy folk. Choo choo.
Seth, is your mute still on?
He doesn't say he's mute. He might be taking out his dogs. Or he lost connection. Oh no. His mic's going.
Oh boy, I'm not the only one who's having technical problems, it seems.
Or he's AFK. Maybe. I don't know. Can you hear us?
Yeah, sorry. I'm letting everyone else go with Chesterfield.
No, I asked you a question.
Oh shit! Hit me again.
I said, so I slapped you on the shoulder and said, "Yo, does this card say anything? Read anything?"
What? Say anything?
The card, the golden card. I think this is the language.
It's a language, but unless it's Mandarin, I'm not going to be able to decipher it for you.
I don't know my room number. They didn't say it.
No, you're staying in one of the suites attached to the main room. So
Yeah.
pick one,
Oh,
and that's yours.
that's how this works.
The gold card is just to avoid them throwing you out if you're hanging around in the lobby.
Oh,
There we go.
Lobby.
The keys will get us into our room.
Apologize for that. Sorry about that,
But definitely don't lose that thing, because we may need you to be able to get back into this room in a real hurry.
I know lose things.
As Ross says that, he has to pause. As Ross says that he does not pause, honestly consider whether he considers things.
Yeah, I would do that. Yeah, no, yeah, I've never lost anything. I don't think.
And while Ross and Seth are discussing permutations of items, things, Zach and Dia arrive in the gift shop on the first floor. It is roughly 1/2 the size of the lobby in terms of space. It is designed intended to cater for every expense, taste, costume. There are hats from every application. There are ensembles, not really items, full-fledged design ensembles. as necessary. The tailor on premises active work is late hour. There are craftsmen, engravers, and various other tradesmen dressed in fine livery with the autograph embroidered clearly hand sewn into their blazer, tie, and shirt. It's not quite as formal as Chester. You can see when they are dressed that the style and the echelons of the employee.
Oh, so I take it this is more along the lines of a boutique or something?
This is their gift shop. Chesterfield pauses at the door, presenting the Lady White. She is looking for a gift, with price being a very potent option. Lady Dia, the Autographs Gift Shop in Haberdashery.
Thank you. Quite much. It's lovely. And I think I will find exactly what I'm looking for in here. And they sweep in and kind of look. And how quickly could I have something custom made?
The older lady, who clearly is the lead engraver, speaks up, clearing her throat. That entirely depends on price range. Anything easily within reach of the standard economy, anywhere from 5 to 27 days. Anything outside of the standard economy range, we can have fairly quick. An hour or so, as every hand lend its skill towards the construction. We do have already assembled a selection. Is there anything in specific you...
Dia starts describing the person the hat's for. Like skin color, style of dress, approximate age range that they look, not their actual age range, obviously, but, start describing them. Very eccentric, and something in a purple.
We do have an interesting selection of items. If you will accompany and unfortunately,
Dia is absolutely thrilled with this whole situation.
Meanwhile, Zach is looking around, and it seems like he's looking for something specific. Specifically something suited to a painter.
something for a painter? Would you?
Yes. Is there anything in there that a painter might appreciate? Or might appeal to them?
There are several sets of brushes. There are several palettes. There is an entire section for sculptors. What sort of implements is that?
Well, what he was actually looking for was either something of that sort, or maybe some candles for lighting or atmosphere, or just to include in the painting itself. Because the person he's getting a gift for is a painter.
I see. There are a selection of implements for art, and candles are present in the gift shop. You've never paid $200 for a candle, but there are large, small, and medium candles of various makes present.
And that is exactly where Zach's going.
To be so kind, as you are perusing the candles, indulge their essences while you smell and take in the look of one after the other. As you touch the candles and move along the line, which would be kindness to romance plus awareness.
Wait, roll what now? I didn't quite catch that.
Wits plus awareness. Or occult.
Okay. Oh, crap. That was a total failure.
These are the best candles you've ever seen. They are smooth. They are smooth and silken, and they are clearly crafted with love. They are fantabulous. There is a lovely red and white marbled one. There's one that's pink and marbled with white. There's all sorts of candles. They're all marbled for the most part. Very few solid, consistent colors, which denotes that they have, in fact, been crafted by hand. And there are so many to choose from. Having it is complete and total choice decision paralysis taking place as Zach looks to the next, watching as it marbles and swerves. One looks like a storm, one looks more like a roiling sea, others look as if it is the perfect amount of a evening sunset, one like a mind aflutter with thoughts inconceivable, and it goes on.
Oh boy. So basically sensory overload right now.
Yes.
Oh boy. Oh boy. He seems to be focusing on the more monochromatic ones, as what he's looking for is nothing too terribly fancy, but definitely something nice.
Okay, it takes a few finally able to dig your way out of the absolute maelstrom of indecision, that because there are so many good, great, and wonderful options that meet what you're looking for, and most of them exceed what you're looking for. And Dia finds the gaudiest thing they can imagine a person being forced to wear. It is a hat that would not even be a Derby Day.
they are absolutely tickled with this hat. They're like holding it in their hand and looking at it from all angles. And it's like one of the ugliest things ever. But the fact of it is just, yeah, it's everything. So they present it to the woman that's running the haberdashery. I think this one, but add a bow and an amethyst brooch if you have one.
Very well. And everything is packed, wrapped, boxed, and sleeved with paper. As Dia realizes that it adds to the cost. It is that they wish to pay for the service of the money, but it is worth that. One is going to begin an intimacy that will stretch across the ages, cost of real shipping.
Exactly.
So, probably back to what is the idea of this?
When I talked to Nicole last, did somebody come to Milwaukee to get my car for me, or is it still here?
You didn't discuss the car except Nicole reaching out. Seeing that to take care of mine or this.
Okay, so then I should go see her and give her her gift and take my car. Probably. But we can do that after we reach out to the prince. Because that's like pretty important. You don't want to linger here too long without him knowing that we're here and have him feel like we're like sneaking around behind his back or whatever. So that is going to be the next reach out.
I would like to reach out to
do I still have the information from the team that kidnapped us and brought us back to wherever that was?
not exactly, because everything has changed. However, as you're racking your brain in regards to how to make contact with Prince of how to reach out to good, mad Prince Deck, there is a briefing of actually landing, which brings back a certain nostalgia to instead of like facsimile of a remnant, an antique, civilized.
It's as entertained and tickled by that as they are still a little concerned because nobody should know that they are here. So where's this phone call coming from? So there's a bit of caution and then they answer the phone. thinking. And then she would look to Seth and Frost and cover the mouthpiece real quickly. We have visitors downstairs, and I don't know who they are. And then back into the phone. No, I'll be down in a moment. I just need to pressure up.
Very well. I shall have you wait in the house.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah. I thought you guys might have noticed. Frost waits until Dia actually hangs up and then says this. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we were being followed.
By who?
Unknown. Saw headlights just following the journey whenever we turned.
Well, as long as we're prepared.
I figured let it be as long as they don't attack us.
Well, I doubt they would do so publicly in this hotel, but be prepared for anything, I think.
This hotel gives me the creeps, by the way.
You just don't understand culture.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, while that's going on, Zach finally makes up his mind and picks 3. One that's dark red and rose scented, one pale blue and spring water scented, and another that's black cedar scented.
Excellent selections. And they begin bagging, gift wrapping, and boxing and the like, and you manage to make your way back to the suite in time for all of that to have taken place. The idea that you've been followed this entire time, how does that suit Zach?
He's a little cautious at the moment, but basically has the attitude, as long as they're not in any real danger, there's no reason for him to act paranoid.
So how does Dia and prepare to go down and meet the guest?
Did their bags ever get brought in, or did they get left in the car?
In the car, they asked if they received.
Okay, because I didn't know if we were gonna need it. I'd rather not lose another set of luggage. That's the thing. Dia looks to Frost. I know you're mostly a pew-pew sort of person, but do you have a blade at all?
Got a combat knife.
Wait,
Nothing smaller?
is Zach with
No.
Dia at the moment?
Yes.
He mentions that he has a pocket knife with him, and he whispers this to her and starts pulling it, but at this moment she would only be able to see the handle.
I think you should keep that on you, just in case. He has plenty of weapons, which is why I want to take one from him.
Let me see. Oh, Frost searches his Hermione bag. I'm just gonna say it's a pack sack, so yeah, same thing. And he rumbles around, and he probably has a pocket knife somewhere deep in there.
He probably wouldn't. If he had to use a knife, it'd be either something.
Yeah.
It's not. He subtle, dainty, small. Not necessarily
No.
his aesthetic.
It might be a screwdriver, but maybe.
Oh, you mean the husky midget screwdrivers?
Yeah. Because you never know when tools will be used.
Dia rolls their eyes, but they take the screwdriver. It's the thing is, they know that basic humans aren't the strongest, even compared to like the weakest kindred sometimes. So a well-placed screwdriver would definitely still work. So they take the screwdriver, tuck it up their sleeve on their jacket, and stick their hand in their pocket on the pants so that it looks stylish and holds the screwdriver. Alright, let's go.
Would you be mad if the screwdriver's handle was orange?
Probably, but beggars can't be choosers, and they just grit their teeth and tuck it.
So Zach and Frost fall in line and Leah heads toward Vader and down. Does everyone remember to bring their
Yes.
Again, Zach still has his in his pocket.
Frost would have put it. Oh wait, he's not wearing his vest. I guess in his tack sack, in one of the front compartments.
So he disrobes out of the suit and puts back on work attire?
No, he doesn't put back on his work attire. He just has this bag that he's always. It's. I tried to Google a picture, but don't Google tack sack.
I don't want to know. Anyway, I can see him taking the jacket off and maybe putting the vest over the shirt. That's just because that's how he rolls. And Dia.
No, I wasn't putting on the. I wasn't putting on the vest. I was because there's like dress code or whatnot. I was. Like a tactical backpack.
Yes, I'm aware with those.
Yeah, but I thought they were called tack sacks, but they're not.
Just no, stop.
This is turning out rather humorously, oddly enough.
I was trying to Google a picture of the type of bag he has, but something else popped up, and I was like, why does this exist?
So as you all make your way down to the lobby and are escorted across to the lounge where your guests are waiting. Dia, having been the only member to meet the Anubi under less than positive circumstances, you are surprised that Akawa and Roth and Anastasia are there along with 4 other dark-suited persons. Roth is sitting calmly in the center of Kawa to his right, and then Anastasia is left. Roth stands, Kawa inclines his head, and then Anastasia
I suppose this saves me the trouble of having to find you.
It is our way. After people are in trouble, we keep as things happen.
Lovely.
How's that? Why?
Decker wanted to find out what we found out, so that is why we are here. Trust me, I don't want to stay here any longer than I have to. As you can see, we are missing quite a few of the people that were with me when we last met.
This is good for you. It means that you have been proven the victor of the hope.
I don't see it that way, but I suppose.
Would you prefer finding their failings in the midst of some other action, or their kindness is a possibility? It's rather than lose their presence, have the opportunity for your life to be in the balance of your life.
Unfortunately, that is quite true. Anyway, yes.
We must talk.
And
Rolf sits back down, and Anastasia sits back down. Kawa looks as exactly bored as you would think, with someone who would much rather be elsewhere or doing something.
And Zach points at himself as if to ask if Rolf wants him to sit down as well.
Yes, everyone.
And he kind of follows along and sits down with them, and is not entirely sure where this all will lead, because he hasn't met any of these people.
Dia looks over to Zach. It'll be fine as long as you don't break the masquerade in any way while we're here. This is Prince Decker's hit squad, goon squad.
I see that
What would you call yourselves?
Starting in less than respect. Pose. Hurt feelings will often lead people astray. We are the Anubian. We are the judges of things. We act as Prince Decker's arm against the pernicious evil lines and wayward kindred. This you understand, yes?
Zach?
I understand that fine, but do you understand that wayward kindred should only be wayward if they belong to him in the first place? We did not belong to him.
Akawa interjects. So, forgive me for saying in such a direct manner. I would prefer otherwise. I'd prefer to do it but this. But if someone were to walk into your home to stir up the pests that are lying beneath and assassinate your landlord or your banker's child who controls the mortgage for you, what would your response be?
Did I know I had pests? Would I prefer to get rid of them? Possibly. As far as the landlord thing, I don't know. Never had a landlord.
Well, perhaps let's make it far more simple. If I were to walk into your space and spit upon you by action, would it matter if I
Actually, I think it would. Because if it's meant to be an insult, then you would need to know whether it offended me or not. how do you know that I'm not one of those people that just might happen to like that sort of thing? And you might actually be turning me on instead of insulting me. You need to know these things before you do
biting
such a
his
thing.
tongue right now and is thinking, oh crap, what have I got myself into this time? But again, he's thinking this, he's not saying it out loud.
That didn't even.
But that's neither here nor there. We can go around and round and round
It spits
all
in your
night.
face. A globulous mask of the taste of saliva.
Okay, and it's at this point where Zach starts to stand up. No. There's no need for something so crass and juvenile, is there? Perhaps
It
a
really
more
is. But I didn't know whether
tempered
it would offend
response.
them or not. I don't know whether this turns on them, whether it excites them, and if the only way to test such things is to do something, then I should be free of all punishments, shouldn't
Zach actually stops to think
Dia
about
has not
this.
moved. And very carefully, with one long tapered finger, wipes the spit away and smiles prettily. If only I had more time.
as much time as you. Ralph stands up. Akawa, don't use my name that way ever again. We are here to deliver a message. Your message, Rolf, is that they are not to transgress across the traditions, and this one would use their words to subvert that very authority you act upon. Direct communication obviates all need for subterfuge. That is direct. Anything else is a waste of my time, your skill, all of our time. Just because we are immortal does not mean we should take forever to get to the point. Your associates were wrong. They killed the Archon's ghouls. Your associates were wrong. They killed a human while visiting another city and domain. Your associates were wrong and were punished, given the opportunity to continue existing. To defend them is to support their wrong. You've been given another opportunity. DACA has chosen to allow you all to live. Roth will take forever to get to the point. You are allowed to stay. Don't break the truth. Don't assume our law to five. Don't violate DACA's law. Otherwise, all attempts at mercy are over. And the collar stops.
It's at this point, Zach sits back down and contemplates one of his convictions, which is advise, don't insult.
Roth looks as if he has never seen that side of Akawa. Roth looks as if he is honestly as to what that means. I apologize for the way that he delivered our message. I know that it is normally not within his behavior to offer offense. It is not our way to offer offense. Merely pass along.
So, since we are not offering offense and not wishing to offer offense, I will not take it as offense. Matter of fact, I knew very well what I was doing. So, with that being said, what would your opinion be on whether or not we ourselves should go see Prince Decker, or whether you yourselves can take the message back to him, saving us a trip?
We are not messengers for anyone but the prince. Zach, would you be so kind as to wits and etiquette, please? Frost, having watched what took place, would you be so kind as to intelligence and leadership?
Okay, that looks
Rude.
promising.
Hey!
Frost has always been a joiner, from the military to bounty hunting to his present position within Kindred society. They've all turned on the axis of joy, turn on him being a believer, someone who follows along, does everything within his scope. He understands what he needs to do, and that's what he does. And what he does typically is find criminals. However, in the exchange, what he clearly saw was a declaration of an entity upon itself. He's calling solidarity. He believes when mayors censor these people, they give up confidence. That's what he saw taking place. Power. There's something afoot here that is bad. Zach? Yeah. The person on the bottom of any relationship, while they control what is allowable, there is couples a sub determines how much control beyond actually has. And as long as that is understood, relationships, all sorts of healthy that is clearly a sub-brain cell. Zach is no longer likely clear that he is strong enough to have something like expression. Because normally, based on this conversation, they were implacable. They were indecipherable. They were zealots. She looked on them foolishly. She had come in the intervening time to, if she must be honest, despise them for their heavy-handed tactics. But now she knew her she was something to go. There is work, and she knows that if she pushes forward, which is that he belongs. This is
Dia is a reader of people, and even even in her previous interactions with them, she knew which buttons she could push and which ones to not. So in this case, the reaction she got from Irakawa was expected in a way, because she pretty much dared them to do this. With Roth, she wouldn't press those sort of buttons. So there's okay. Seeing as how you only deliver messages for the prince, that is understandable. We are slightly above criminals, perhaps, to your mind, so I get it. But how best would you think it would be to get this matter over with? Like I said, we do not wish to stay here any longer than we have to, so that we will not trouble your city any further.
Blue. J. And with that, he nods to Anastasia. Anastasia has been unpacking with silence. Almost as silent as he sat in her as Abner nodded would, for a second, literally having and an injury that would graphic of just as graphic was not knowing the depths of all purposes such as protection and all of Tower 6 rely on graphic punishment as a phrase for tail acted upon.
Leah nods to the others. Is this balloon in the book? That I might reach them?
Of course. We'll be calling this tired.
They raise a brow as to, I don't have a tablet, but they don't say that. It's just kind of like a, huh?
Would you be so kind as to work intelligence and technology? As long as you don't have a failure, it's technology.
Like Mason did that one time, then that's what happened. He tried to use his phone. Failed a bestial failure. The next thing we know, he blew up a restaurant.
These things happen.
These things happen.
And like a ton of bricks, the fog lifts, the synapses fire, and the reality was following across the reality of how they were following settled in dominant and fucking tablet took from nursery. The tablet that he ended with the charge of the tablet left to go to see Nabob when he stormed out. The tablet, which had been on lost his legs and arms.
Tablet indeed. I will await their call. It's fine, dear heart. I have dealt with many such kindred throughout my lifetime, and I am obviously still here, so I must be doing something right. I think we have quite enough excitement for the moment, and I will send the portier to go get our things from the car, because apparently I'm going to need the tablet.
What tablet? I don't know.
Darby had a tablet. And he left it in the car when he stormed away.
Oh my god, you mean to tell me they would have thought we were still in Indianapolis?
Yeah. Which means after this little conversation, I am more unwilling to get rid of that piece of junk.
With your realizations, Zach and Ross, are they dating books? Now that they are at home.
What? That they're just babies trying to be.
No.
What? They're lambs trying to be lions.
I would think that Zach would know about the tablet because they were there around it before when we had that discussion with Dami, before Dami stormed away. So I think Zach would know about it, but Frost came after and so did Seth, so they wouldn't know.
And Zach chooses to share that bit of information with Frost when the topic comes up.
I think this is a conversation better suited to our rooms, but on the way up, I will make sure that our bags are brought up. And they head to the desk and then ask that their bags be brought up from the car, taking the keys from Zagundis, and I don't think the boys tend to have all that much. They tend to wear their bags on them, so they don't need their stuff. But Zagundis, Zach, and I would need our things from Zagundis' car, so I would take the key and give it to them to get our things out.
But of course, madam, we shall have these removed to your suite shortly.
Heading back up to the room, and once they step in, take some unneeded breath and just kind of sags for a moment, and it's probably like the first time they have ever really seen her in not proper posture. It's just kind of like a visible folding sag, because the game of chicken they played in the lounge finally hit them as to what could have happened in that situation. But they still don't feel guilty that they did it.
And Zach basically walks over and holds out an arm as a show of support, should she want it or need it.
Frost just stretches. And
Sigundus
puts
moves
down his
over.
back.
Sigundus moves over, throws her arms around Zach and Dia, because that was in fact quite scary for them. They have proven themselves to be as brave as they can be, but being confronted with an actual person prepared to do violence over words is not something that they've grown accustomed to. In her human life, she was a nurse. She saved lives. She didn't put lives at risk. She didn't deal with violence because of violence sake. He helped afterwards, but this was another matter entirely.
And Zach's human lifestyle was essentially wandering the country, playing gig after gig, and picking up a few side pieces along the way.
Frost's
And a few
lifestyle is
vices.
basically the same, except with a lot more supernaturalness to it.
He likes it.
Oh yes, he does. He finds this insanely fun.
Zach's always been something of a, well, a hoe.
Uh-huh.
There's something to be said for having a financially friendly disposition. Being friends with finances. So all in all, as the matter is settled, are there any conversations to be had as the parcels and packages and luggage are being brought to?
Well, Frost knows that there's a history here. Whether he needs to know the history or not is based off their decisions on what to tell him.
Okay, so I'm gonna while we're waiting for the things to come upstairs. Secundus knows most of this. Zach has heard part of it, but I'm just going to go over and rehash everything, assuming that nobody knows anything. So
remember, Frost is just a soldier. Basically.
The others don't know either, so I guess we're gonna have to kill Seth and then we'll get back. But he sits down on a chaise and takes it aside. So basically, what happened is the original team, or coterie as you would say, was sent to Milwaukee to get a favor from Decker by doing them a favor, or boon. It turns out that throughout their time here, and time before that in Bolton itself, some mistakes were made that I did not know about, and I, doing a favor to both my primogen and Geneva, out of misplaced nostalgia, I would say, promised I would do them a favor and come check upon this young coterie and keep them out of trouble. That didn't work well because there was already more trouble than I could manage to get them out of when I got here. Literally walking into the hotel for the first time before I met these people face to face, there was some sort of shootout or thing that they were rushing off to and getting into the car, and I hadn't even unpacked yet. I had literally just met Rami and David in the downstairs of the hotel, and was forced to run after them. And then it turns out when we got to where we were going, there was a massive gun battle between one group of armed men, another group of armed men, and then the car that we so happened to be in. And then there was Abner. God, I hate Abner. He was a former hunter turned kindred who hated being kindred, with every fiber of their being. Took stupid chances every time, shooting at the other member of the coterie at the time, young Chimera. I can't remember his name at the moment, though. Unfortunately, so many things have happened. He was unfortunately killed by lots of daggers and crossbow bolts and lupine activities. Yes, a large lupine broke into the party and started killing the armed men, which was the only thing that allowed us to get away, mind you. We drove away, and it was during the course of this little jaunt and drive away that I was told by Dami that we were looking for Anna Mercer, and that he had a tablet that belonged to Miss Anna Mercer, and that was the whole mission that they were supposed to be on, going to meet her and talking her into coming home. During the course of that, of course, like I said, lupines happened, and unbeknownst to me, David had killed and turned one of the more powerful Primogen's ghouls into cold-blooded kindred, breaking several rules. And to compound that, found the sire of this original ghoul in their hotel room and decided to shoot at them early in the morning, or early in the evening, because we were getting late to leave. I had to come up with something quick, and unbeknownst to me, due to their punishment for doing such things, they looked dead, and seemed dead. So they were taken to the morgue at the hospital, which I had to break them out of. It was there that this Anubi showed up and kidnapped us away to punish us for the many misdeeds and stupid mistakes we had apparently made. The punishment was to be bisected, placed in a box, and sent back to Chicago, because Chicago was the original reason we were sent to Decca and the Presidents. I think that's everything. No, okay, and then I put Donnie back together once we were in Chicago. He was fairly ungrateful for that, mind you. Then decided to leave. Abner didn't recover. We tried to bring him back and ended up burying him. And David was in no shape at all to continue, so that left me and me alone. And here we are.
Sounds like you broke the rules and then paid for it.
Yes, but then they still insist that we're going to break them again, which is what that whole meeting downstairs was about. They're a bit intense, that group. But I noticed... See, when we first met them, they did not behave such as this. They were very tightly knit and very put together. Something has happened to drive a wedge between them. They are dogs on a very short leash, sniffing at each other right now. So I'm curious as to what has caused such a thing, but I don't want to be here to find out. So I am all for doing what we need to do, telling the prince what we need to tell him, and getting the fuck out of Milwaukee.
And the moment you say that, the tablet lights up with a shrill klaxon in all due actuality. It is not a little chirp. It's not a little buzz. It's not a little vibrate. It is a klaxon. Volume has been turned all the way up. And is all that the gathered coterie can do, not jump at the sound of a nuclear reactor's alarm. Does anyone have heightened senses?
Negative.
Dia, the tablet is in fact going.
I have it, but I don't have it activated right now, and I'm gonna hurry up and shut that the heck off.
Okay, so you go pick up the tablet. Do you swipe so that it because you can see that there in fact is a call.
I aim it, what I assume would be the camera, at the wall first, and then swipe it just to see what would happen.
As you do so, from your vantage point, you can barely view the person that's on the screen. Hello? 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 Can you hear me? Is there
Yes,
anyone there?
Yeah, sorry. I'm new at these things, and then she turns it to face herself. Oh, there you are.
Well, you are not who was here before. I suppose we should go about introducing ourselves. My name is JW, Blue to everyone. I act as Prince Decker's seneschal of sorts. Now, who might you all?
I am Concordia White, second to Nicole, Imogen, and Dalton.
I have heard of it. And who else might?
I have young Zach Beaukier, Mr., and I aim it towards them.
How
Wow.
do,
And
Mr. Volkier? How do?
Well, it has been a rather interesting past couple of nights.
Well, I hear that it is a Chinese curse. May you interesting times. We understand there were several of you, and he's looking as if he can look past the screen, like he can look around Zach to see who else is. It is very clear that this new technology is in fact not up his alley.
we have young Segundus, and I show them to the screen.
Segundus waves. Well, hi there, Segundus. That is a weird name. Who would name you second? Oh, you speak Latin? It was part of the educational plan back in my day. We had to understand.
Well, now, funny you mention. Closest to Latin I've ever learned is Italian.
I understand that that's the grandchild Latin. One of the romantic languages of its day.
And then I introduced Seth, pointed at Seth, and Rob pointed at Rob. Well,
Introducing me last.
Kindred are above ghouls. Thank you.
What? No way. Since when? Since always.
Well, I don't want to trouble you all, but there are far too many of you perfectly within Prince Decker's law. We need to find another way to congregate together, or at least not be found out in such large numbers. Any grouping of 5 or more is subject to the prince's law and judgment. I just have to say that so that we are all of an understanding. That it is clear. The only exception to it require the full meeting and the judges at once. So, that being the case, I understand you all like to have a sit down and discuss what the prince sent you off running about.
Indeed, and we would prefer to do so quickly and without as much fuss as possible so that we may leave the Prince Decker's lovely kingdom as soon as possible.
That I understand that every cow would rather chew the cud than be milked for spuds. But unfortunately, Decker is a little busy. There's several things that need his attention. As such, I understand that you all happen to be, forgive me for saying it this way, but I came up in a time it was only a certain to say, you all are part of Toreador Enclave, correct?
Something like that.
Majority of us are, yes.
Well, there is a way to foster a quicker meeting with Prince, and that is by getting proof of Lucina. I'll work on Decker and see if he can free up his schedule without all the political rigmarole, but I can assure you that as things are, it will be at least a night before he can turn his gaze towards you all.
Well, I had plans to visit Lucinda anyway because they have something of mine and I would like to give them a gift, so it seems that would be beneficial.
Very well, then we are going to, let's say, be tomorrow. Instead of meeting at his arrangements, let's meet at the Hyatt tomorrow, 2 hours after sunset, and will receive you and your messages. Is there anything you all would like me to prepare him for? Anything you'd like to offer? Benefit in the here now?
That we followed every scrap of information that we possibly could and put our lives and unlives very much in danger for most of this adventure, and I have lost several of my number, so that I would like him to understand those things when I deliver his news.
I will impart the great cost that you have paid. Is there any other? I just want to make sure that we are being as thorough, passing much information as to at this juncture, so that when we meet, everyone's as informed as they possibly can be.
Would
Yeah,
it
I'm
be
good, old man.
that if I told you the news that we have to tell him, that it would save us the trip, or do I still have to tell him the news?
Oh no, I don't deliver people bad news.
Exactly.
That there's a fool's game. You don't go poking nobody in the eye. You don't take anybody else's guff. Bad way to be. Good way to have a very short immortality. I have no intentions of having a short immortality after all this. Anyway, I will inform the prince and we will have us a meeting of balance and understanding.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Oh, don't thank me. I'm just doing my job. Your thanks is appreciated. Again, just do a job.
Dia waits for them to go quiet. All right, good evening, and then swipes it off to hang up.
It is clear that there was some impart or attempt to impart information without being said. It is clear that the soft old man ruse for a kindred is complete, utterly. And Segundus is clearly contemplating that as well. As Segundus settles themselves, begins contemplating, as you've seen her do 3 or 4 times, and since you left Milwaukee the first time, we will take a quick 10 minutes and be back here at 31 after the hour. While in approximately 10 minutes.
There we go. Can everyone hear me?
Testing. Everyone back?
Yep. Can everyone hear me? Okay, all I'm hearing is music right now. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Zach.
Stop.
Dia, you're back?
What am I hearing exactly?
It sounds as if Frost is playing.
Hold on, I have something up here that says Dia's offline. But it also says you're online. You're offline, and yet you're right here, so I don't know how accurate that really is.
No, that's not accurate. That's just invisible operation at this point. Let me see. You're back, Dia?
Yep.
All right. So, with all of that tension slowly dissipating and ebbing away, the plan is to make your connections with Lucina. Both you, Secundus, and Zach know that each city, each region, each county, each large grouping of members of your clan, there is in the Primogen's possession usually a journal, a phone book, a way to connect reach out to all of the other members of your clan in a particular area. Dia, being Nicole's second, all but a Primogen of Dalton, had access to that book. Is that what they're using to reach out to Lucina?
Yeah.
Okay, so as you all reach out to Lucina, did something separate from the other members of your to do, or is it just you just dial her from the tablet in front of you?
Zach right now is sitting on one of the is basically just trying to unload all the stress he's under right now. But the only way to do that is to give in to some vice of his or another. And he doesn't know exactly how receptive everybody in the room will be to one of his vices.
Well, caring is often flesh tearing. Bite into someone.
Dia is going to take the tablet into the room that they've claimed for themselves for the evening and shut the door, because there are some things everybody can know and there's some things that everybody should not know.
Okay, and I didn't quite hear that part that you, our storyteller, were saying before, so could you repeat that, please?
Oh, I was teasing about just biting into someone.
Well, that wouldn't really be a good idea.
Not everyone's kindred, most part.
Well, Zach looks around and basically moving his hands slowly along the bed he's sitting on as if to invite whoever is willing to join him.
Yeah, I'm off limits. I'm gonna just say that here and now.
Frost is very much on limit. He may defend himself, but very much is. Why order out when you get dine in?
Yeah, see, I got this here pistol and this one. Oh, and this one. Gonna get stung if you bite this bee.
You can always just remind
but
them
that's not
that the guy at
quite what I had in mind.
the guy at the front desk was like, "Hey, you want a hooker? We can do that in the elevator." Remember?
Yes, they cater to discerning taste of all sorts. And speaking of discerning taste, as Dia dials and connects via several less than modern phone lines, Cena comes on. Know that it is them simply because of the fact of its sound as antebellum and north southerner as possible. Why, hello.
Lucina, I humbly apologize for last time I was here. I heard that you may or may not have my car, though, and I have brought you a gift.
Yes, Cole did reach out and ask me to utilize my resource to find your vehicle. And you have a gift? Oh my goodness. What sort of gift is it? May I see it?
No, they've done such a good job of gift wrapping and boxing it. I'd rather wait and
Did I hear that correctly? Did I hear Marion?
No.
Okay. I'm like really stressed.
I will do my best to ensure I am as patient as possible. However, I really must impress on. I am throwing a small affair this evening. And as a matter of fact, you are already fashionably late. You do know where the Pabst Mansion is, correct?
I would assume that Dia would know because they've been to Milwaukee before. While I do know where that is, I just have a small question. I heard that, according to the prince, no more than 5 of our kind can be in one place at one time. So how would you be pulling this particular thing off?
Oh, one would never tell their secret. All the same, I expect you here within the hour, now that you are aware that you are as unlearned as many. And it is so very good of you to be aware of Prince Dagger's laws. Where there is a will, there is a way. And with us, that way is always the most stylish. I look forward to seeing you all within the hour. You should be able to reach here by now. I'm sure that whatever functional hotel you're staying at might provide you with a vehicle.
True enough. Okay, within the hour.
Excellent. I'll alert the staff and have the door repaired.
They hang up.
And while Zach's sitting on the bed, he is strongly considering taking advantage of the hotel's services.
Well, you can't beat clean, prepared, quick, in and out. It is akin to having the bed turned down. Services are services for.
Returning from the other room, Diaz rubbing the temple. If you need to eat, please do so before we have to go to this freaking party tonight. I tried to get us out of it, but if I do not show for the second time, I'm afraid it will cause quite the scandal and issue for Nicole.
My. Sounds like there's been quite the affair. But that is not really my business, so I will not pry if you do not wish to share.
Gun just smiles. Well, they gave their word. They will. I will. How is Lucina?
And at this point, Zach decides to call in their services and ask for room service, but he says it in a way that indicates air quotes. In other words, he's not talking about the normal kind of room service.
Of course not.
At the same time, Frost orders some food.
Way to not confuse any.
Wait, what? Could you repeat that, please?
But the guys have their own room, so we're all just kind of together.
Yes, way to not confuse anyone is what I stated. When Frost added his actual.
No, I did that hoping, in front of Zach's door would be just human food, and then at my door would be the vampire food, and just this comical interaction. Let's just swap.
Wait, is that what's happening right now?
Yeah.
That would be funny.
Yeah, that's what could happen.
Yes, this does happen.
To answer Secundus, Lucinda is Lucinda. They are pushy and irritating and insistent, but to snub them is an issue, so I will not do so.
Oh, I was hoping for something a little than that. Seem bothered by your conversation.
I mentioned the fact of Decca's little rules about more than 5 getting together at one time, and they completely blew that off. Which leads me to wonder if A, this might be a trap of some sort, or B, an intentional trap of some sort.
Well,
Isn't that why you have me and Seth?
As bullet shields, most assuredly. So being as Decker's all on this, not having 5 of us, Secundus stands up and hands the keys to D. Perhaps I should stay and make sure no one sneaks, especially after what happened last time we were with Primogen sneaking into and all hell breaking loose. Perhaps one of us or 2 of us should stay and make sure that nothing like that happens. And that would put us underneath Decker's 5 kindred in a place at one time. And she looks at Frost, but of course you don't count.
No, of course they don't.
That is not being insulting. They are being technical. Technically, you are not kindred, so you do not count in Decker's law.
What, which means I can kill one of y'all willy-nilly?
You can try.
But perhaps, yes, Robert and Secundus should stay. Zach, I will leave it up to you whether you wish to go or not. There are other roses going to be there, but I also noticed that you have company potentially coming, so that might be something you can entertain yourself with. The Cinder does not know you are here, just me. So I have to go, for sure.
Are you sure that's what that means, considering?
Well, I mean, the other people seen Zach.
True.
Alrighty. Well, I may want to change into some more appropriate attire. Unless you, of course, believe that this may be adequate.
These look fine in whatever you wear, but if it should make you more comfortable, then yes, do change. But like I said, I would like to make sure that everybody is properly satiated before we go, just in case. I'm
And of
fine.
course, Zach
Yeah, the
is
food I
still
ordered
waiting
was
for. Zach's still waiting for his company at this point. So
Oh yeah, I
he's
would
not
probably
sure
be
whether or
sold.
not. So he's not sure whether or not he has time to change right now.
Well, disrobing and re-robing does take some time. But all the same, hors d'oeuvres and entrees for the evening arrive toward getting you guys sweets, giving you the opportunity to divest yourselves of certain impulses and inclinations, to fill your stomachs and prepare for battle, which is literally what it always is.
Okay, so
Of
the services are here now.
together at one place. Yes.
Yeah, they should.
And who exactly does Zach see waiting for him?
What does Zach expect?
Well, he was expecting someone rather loose-looking. Someone he might get into his arms rather easily.
Well, it is definitely, there is definitely that feel about the person that arrives. Though at the autograph, of course, they are immaculately tailored, well coiffed, and far more literate than we would expect in a woman of the night. But it is to be expected in a place of such finery which caters
And it's
a
at this
variety of tastes.
It's at this point when Zach starts working his charm on this lady. basically trying to do as a siren would do without me. As a siren would do. Basically charm her, give into one vice, and then into the more necessary one.
Okay. All well in hand, all well managed, and as the coterie takes Segundus's Maybach, if you will, there in general, the discussion, I go ahead and gave you guys a map as to approximately where the Pabst mansion is in relation to the autograph. It's just a little over a mile, giving you all to have a quick conversation in the car as you all. When you get to the mansion, the street parking is completely, totally open. The grounds themselves don't have parking facility, parking lot, so most of guests have parked up and down the street. You see catering vans, various luxury sedans, and full-fledged road cars. And as you make your way toward the mansion itself, it's red brick standing out against the bright verdant green of landscape. You realize that this is 100% flouting Decker's orders, but that these people are not bad men. One or the other, both can exist in the same place at the same time. They should.
Lovely. Dia's going to take a quick look up and down the street to see if maybe, just maybe, if they're super, super lucky that their baby is parked in amongst these other cars.
No.
Question. Would Zach have time to change between feeding himself and getting to the party?
Yes, that would have already been a case.
Okay, well in this case he's in a different outfit now. A kind of dark chocolate brown blazer that's open just enough to expose the top half of his chest. And black slacks and kind of black dress shoes. Basically the most classy outfit they've seen him in so far. And he's not wearing his earrings right now.
Okay. As you all make your way in, you realize that the bulk of the people gathered are dressed very much as one would expect a group of models waiting to be. There are svelte, slim, heroin chic. There is width and breadth of the entirety of the body movement present. There are photographers making their way through the first floor, up and down the stairs, and outside as you walk your way into the main door, you can see that there is a set put together photographs and staged imagery. Speaking with a older, bearded, clearly ex-model is seen, and the moment that she sees you walk into, she makes her way towards you. I did not expect you to be on time. I had not even tripped the staff. Can I get you anything to wet your whistle? I know that there may be some drinking cognac around here somewhere.
Perhaps a white wine, then.
Oh, no, we won't be doing that. While your temperature won't offset the correct drinking temperature, not embarrass me with such a pleasing choice. Perhaps an Armagnac, something I can sip.
It would take somebody that's known Dia for a while, and probably Zach would be able to pick it up. There is a tightening of the bottom jaw, and there's a small muscle just in front of their ear that starts to jump as they bite their tongue. Almost literally bite their tongue. And smile. I will go with the host choice. If that's what you assume is better, then we should go with that.
That is an excellent sign of taste, I must say. And they pause and look Zach and Frost over. Really? And you are?
I am Zach Volkir. It is my pleasure to make your acquaintance.
I aim to please, and I'm sure that it is. And you're clearly hired help. Do they speak, or are they well-mannered?
This is Frost. I found myself in need of a bit of personal security recently.
I can understand that. I understand that Dalton is less than safe at times. But I'm glad that you are here and you've managed to arrive at such a great time instead of keeping them waiting. Right this way. And as she begins to move through the party, everyone, I would like to draw attention to my guest of honor. This is the vaunted vocal artiste that I spoke about earlier in the evening, Miss White and her entourage, Zach of Volkir and their driver, bodyguard,
security, yes,
and their security. They'll be presenting me with a very lovely, tastefully chosen gift and performing for you all for your pleasure. We'll
Zach's
retire to
grinning
the
ear to ear right now, because performance, that's when he's within his element.
right this way. As I told you all, that there is no list that you all have heard that could rival them. And after all, you know that I only select the best, even for such a motley assortment as this. Right this way, right this way. Dia, Zach, do you do anything of note, Zach?
Well, now that you mention it, you may have perhaps heard of the channel I have online, where I display my talents on the string, if you catch my meaning.
I am sorry, this new slaughtering of the English language does escape me from time to time. You said that I might see you with strings. Does that mean that you in one of those chat groups? Or are you on the tweaker?
Dia very carefully leans into the center. They are a musician of some renown and play guitar.
Oh, I see. I see. Well, we can arrange a guitar most effectively. I do believe that the guitar is a secondary string instrument, isn't it?
Well, now, I will certainly. Wait, hold on, scratch that. Can you repeat that before I make my actual reply?
I believe the guitar is a secondary string instrument, isn't it?
they're insulting you without acting like they're insulting you. It's typical Rose behavior.
As a matter of fact, it is. I tried the violin once, but I just lack necessary any sort of talent, shall we say.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear about lack of talent. It is a problem that many of us were chosen for their beauty instead of their skill have to suffer with. I myself was chosen for literary contributions. Luckily, the English language never quite go out of style. Unlike certain forms of entertainment, certain forms of entertainment. All the same, here we are, dear, for you to present your best of vocalizations with Zachary here in accompaniment. And their associate keeping their fans at bay. And with that, she settles into the sitting chair while everyone else begins gathering.
Zach looks at Dia and is basically wondering whether or not they do the same genre of music. Because Zach is known for doing rock, and he's not really sure what exact genre Dia usually does.
Do you know jazz guitar?
Jazz guitar. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Would you possibly fake it with an acoustic?
Well, now, I just happened to learn on a jazz guitar.
Well then, you should be fine. I would like for you to play for me. A change gonna come. And they very carefully and quickly go through a couple little vocal warm-up exercises and take a sip of water that they don't particularly need, but it just lubricates everything. And
it just so happens that Zach knows this song and knows how to play it. It's actually something he did for one of his earlier videos.
Well,
so he does some
well.
finger exercises to kind of prepare himself. Basically get them limbered up.
Alright. Would you both be so kind as to go ahead and Dia, would you be so kind as to go ahead and charisma and performance? And Zach, would you be so kind as to go ahead and dexterity and performance?
Okay, just let me open some things up real quick. Okay, dexterity, performance, and guitar is his specialty, if that counts for anything.
It does. You get to add a
Frost,
die.
Frost, as he always does, he's like standing close, but not too close to the people he's assigned to protect. Just looking out for any potential threats. Everyone in here is a potential threat, but like murder intent. That's what he's looking for.
Okay.
Oh boy.
And exits, fast exits, and fast, getaways.
Oh boy, I'm not sure exactly what my results mean.
Ooh.
And while Dia is gathering their die, would you Frost, be so kind as to go ahead and intelligence and either larceny or investigation.
Okay, so the reason that it's taking me a little bit to gather the dice pool, because I know what my base dice pool was, but I wanted to ask whether her looks would bolster the performance or not.
Yes. Okay.
Oh boy.
All right. So, several things happen as they always do. Just
Please tell me he's acting completely blow it out of his butt.
the prepared for space is in the sitting room, and in the path bench, the area that has been chosen as the sitting room is large enough for a crowd of 20 people. It's a little closer than most people would expect, but it works. It makes it just intimate enough where the performance can be felt in soul, as all good jazz is. In that crowd of 25 home faces, both literally as well as metaphysically, it is only as Zach and Dia begin singing, the lights come on behind us. There's the old aphorism that the savage beast, and it is clear that even here in this viper's den, that music works its magic. Frost keeps his composure just so. A crowd this closely packed makes the exits, and there are two to this room, untenable. You would literally have to people to get out, then it would be easier to break the window left and right behind him. However, he's sure that in a place as well preserved and taken care of, that those windows are probably explosive resistant, and they probably mitigate long range sighting technology. From the outside, you probably appear to be a foot over or half a foot behind where you're standing. The safety of this room is the pressing box as Dia through the song and gets to the point where they are standing and afraid of what's there beyond the sky, and Zyga would come on the guitar. It's tighter. The lights get dimmer. If any emergency in the song, it would be catastrophic for any person living alive, bodies, and the natural responses in traumatic situations. And with those dark thoughts dancing across his head, and the crowd growing from the reasonable tight 25 doubly as the song progresses, and Lucina sitting centered, surrounded by her sympathetic, looks as if she has been slapped, because there's a beauty in the song. There's a death skill displayed, and while Frost does all he can to stay not completely out of sight, he adds to presentation. There's a clear sense of professionalism display. What was supposed to clearly a loss, an embarrassment, has turned into a social victory for and all of that. As the song rises and falls, everyone all spiritual retributions, both good and ill, leave our coder scenes, plans falling apart before eyes, and she even is swept along. Much. We continue later. Have a nice day.
You too.
See, don't mess with Dee. She know what she do.
And this is where Zach is at his best. Good night.